Everyone was telling me it was a possibility, and Stafford's the man. I studied him hard coming out of college, and you always just play against him, so you know how good he is. But to know he might be available and to spend 2 weeks really watching him, Sean, yeah, he's better than I had realized. I mean, he was the man, and he's actually underrated to me.
Woo, Acho, Jimmy GQ deserved better from Kyle Shanahan.
Absolutely, big dog. I mean, your coach can't be out here drooling over another man, like out here slobber on his shirt. Let me get that. Yeah, he deserves better. So it's one thing, again, if you married to somebody else and you going out on other dates, unbeknownst to your significant other, like Kyle Shanahan out here going out at other dates. Trey Lance, oh my God, you look so good. You like, Trey, what's up? It's a whole nother thing if you're married, going out on other dates with another individual and posting Woman Crush Wednesdays about a whole nother individual.
Wow.
That's what Kyle Shanahan did. Matthew Stafford, WCW. Like, calm down. You got a whole nother quarterback in Jimmy G who's been nothing but good to you. Jimmy G absolutely deserves better because everything Kyle Shanahan has done to Jimmy G has been intentional, right? Okay, I'm going to say that we're not necessarily going to draft his replacement, but I know I'm going to draft his replacement. I'm going to sit here and pay all these excessive compliments to Matthew Stafford, another quarterback. But the only negative thing that Jimmy G's ever done to Kyle Shanahan has been unintentional. He got hurt. Like, I didn't intend on getting hurt. I didn't want to get hurt, but I've never had a malicious action toward you where Kyle Shanahan has had several malicious actions towards Jimmy G. Jimmy G deserves better because you're 22-8 as a starter with Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan without Jimmy G, you're 7-27 as a head coach in San Fran. And what you got to give to Jimmy G, nothing but just loving somebody else.
All this syrup you pouring out here, boy. Ain't no pancakes out here either. So, no, I don't give a damn. As much as I love me some Jimmy GQ, you don't owe that dude anything because the NFL stands for what?
Not for long.
Not for long. It don't stand for not for like, not for love. It stands for not for long. So if I like you, it ain't going to be long. If I love you, it ain't going to be long because it's not unconditional. Yeah, he going out there. I don't know what he doing with Trey Lance. They engaged? One of my 4 engagements. I don't know what he got going. But we always talk about the dual scoreboards. But I don't highlight enough to you the time that I walked into the Chargers facility and I was just trying to feel my way out. Actually, I was lost looking for the general manager's office, and I saw the 2 war rooms. Everyone knows about one war room. It's for all the prospects that are coming from college and where should we draft them? And it's all deluxe, and we've seen it on video and YouTube, and quarterbacks and oh, look at this right here. We got Trevor Lawrence, and then we got running backs, and we got all the linemen, all that. And that's cool. You know why? Because no one really feels the pain. If you're in that room, you're either a part of the organization or maybe you're just the active player, like, man, them little dudes ain't gonna do nothing to me. But see, you're the type of person that lives by out of sight, out of mind. I don't. Because I know if it's out of sight, sooner or later it's gonna come in my vision. I'm gonna have to deal with it. So I'm thinking about things out of sight, out of mind. When I walked in that second war room, oh, that wasn't about them dudes in college. It was about the dudes like me. And they had active defensive ends like me. And guys are like, look, if Marcel start tripping, because I don't love him, I don't like him, not for long, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this acquisition. That's why these trades happen like that. Kyle Shanahan was out there in Cabo. They were telling him over dinner, go to bed, hang out, and call him in the morning. Then they said, you better call him in the next 10 minutes or else. Because somebody went in that second war room was like, doc, 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 because it's not for long. So in a world of football where you eat what you kill, not you eat what you impress, you don't eat what somebody likes. You got to understand this dog-eat-dog world. And I'm sorry, bro. You better be a bigger dog or you're going to get ate. We're joined now by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. So, Greg, does Jimmy G deserve better from Kyle Shanahan?
Shoot, you just said it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the reason why is, Acho, I get it. Yes, what you're saying about the wins and the losses and all of that, yes, he has been great for this organization. But he's not an MVP of the National Football League. He hasn't even been a Pro Bowl player selection. He hasn't won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback in this league for any organization or franchise, specifically being the 49ers, as we're talking about them. So, yeah, just like every other position needs to try to be focused on being improved every single season, every moment. That's the job of scouts and head coaches, there's no difference. When you haven't been able to live up to standard and you haven't produced what the goal is that we were after and we're always going to be chasing after, I'm going to constantly be looking to improve in every position, specifically Jimmy Garoppolo at the quarterback position. And have we not been paying attention all offseason when over 1,500 miles away in Wisconsin, there's a quarterback that did win MVP. There's a quarterback that has a Super Bowl ring for an organization called the Green Bay Packers that hasn't come to common ground, hasn't come to terms, and is disgruntled, and there's tension there. So if it can happen to Aaron Rodgers and be currently still happening, why am I going to feel sorry for Jimmy Garoppolo?
I got the why, G. I got the why, Sel, and it just dawned on me as you were talking.
Let's hear it.
It would be one thing if Kyle Shanahan was salivating over Tom Brady. It'd be another thing if he was salivating over Patrick Mahomes, maybe even Justin Herbert, obviously Aaron Rodgers, somebody who is clearly clear-cut better than me. But you can't be lusting over another individual who I'm looking at like, wait, but I got just as much to offer. Wow. Gee, you know this. You're a married man. Sal, you know this. You're a married man. It's one thing if it's like, wait a second, they don't even look like me, right? They short, they're tall. They're tall, you're short. Whatever the case may be. But if you looking and your significant other, your girlfriend at the time, one of your 5 fiancés, Marcellus, if you're looking and it's like, wait a second, they look like me. They got the same job I do. I'm actually more accomplished. I've actually gone further in life. I actually am more committed, more faithful, and just as good. Now I would start to feel some type of way. So, G, if I'm Jimmy G, I'm looking around like, okay, Matthew Stafford has never won a playoff game. He's 0-3 in the playoffs. I went to the playoffs and I was 3-0 as a starter en route to going to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, what has he done? He's thrown for a lot of yards. Congratulations. Anybody can throw for a lot of yards if you lead the league in passing attempts. But I actually am efficient with my yardage. What has Matthew Stafford done that I haven't? Who is Matthew Stafford that I am not? So that's why I'm like Kyle Shanahan. How dare you talk about Stafford like this when you got a quarterback who's looking at Stafford like he ain't no better than me? I'll flip it on his head. Imagine, G, if Jimmy G was like, man, Sean McVay is just such a great coach. Imagine just what he does for quarterbacks and how he allows his quarterbacks to play the game at such a high level. I just am so enthralled with Sean McVay's brilliant mind. He's just the greatest. Kyle Shanahan would be looking like, I went to a Super Bowl like he went to a Super Bowl. We got to flip it on his head so we can really answer the question.
Ooh.
You saying flip it on his head, but you didn't flip it all the way on his head because if you're really looking at the relationship, Matthew Stafford can say, yeah, you can compare yourself to me, but you can you really compare yourself to my situation that I'm in or that I was in Detroit? The surrounding personnel pieces, the organization as a whole, the general. I'm from Michigan. I know what the Detroit Lions are all about, and it's not much, and it hasn't been much. So Matthew Stafford is looking like, yeah, that's fine. You can compare yourself to me, but if I were in a better relationship, if I were in a better situation, I possibly would have all those things. So I get it. And I'm going to tell you this and give you this little heads up. Man, stay off that Woman Crush Wednesdays. I see what you're doing on your social media. Hey, man, go ahead and get him, Marcellus.
Hell yeah. Hey, I got too many homies. I be like, damn, your wife ain't tripping? You be just double tapping the whole damn gram. Like, it's funny out there.
You know they show what pics you like.
I know. Yeah. Like, bye. I always be looking like, damn, him too? Like, he be everywhere. But I be there too. So I get it. I just don't tap. I know how to get by. I be hoping my scroll ain't too heavy either. It might double tap on accident. Be like, damn it, she caught me. Okay, here we go.